LUC Viau, born 1779 in Saint-Laurent, Ile de Montreal, Quebec. He was one of 13 siblings. Widowed, he married Marie AMABLE LALANDE de LATRIELLE, born 1790 in Sainte-Anne de Bellevue, Quebec. She was 11 years his junior. They would have 13 children. According to an 1851 census, Luc was a rentier. Before that, it may be fair to assume he was a laborer or a farmer, like his descendants. It's 1785. Francois, his 4-month-old brother, dies, but Luc is only 6. Nearly a year later, his 4-year-old sister, Marguerite, passes away. By the time he is 20, he will have lost 8 siblings. This tragic part of his story is best shared with his father's stem of the family tree. It's 1803. Luc is 27. He marries Françoise Legault. She dies in 1806, but not before giving birth to Luc Jr. Luc Sr. remarries in November of 1807 to Marie. They have 12 children. It's 1815. The War of 1812 ends with the peace treaty of Ghent. However, the First Nation allies of the British and Canadian cause have suffered. They not only lost warriors, including the great Tecumseh, but also lost any hope of stopping the American expansion into the West and the loss of their homelands. Tecumseh sided with the British not because he fully trusted them, but because he saw them as a strategic ally with common interests. Tecumseh preached that the land belonged to all indigenous peoples, not to specific groups, and that no tribe had the right to surrender any land. That could only be done with agreement by all. Tecumseh was an imposing figure who combined a passionate concern for his people with an acute strategic military sense. During the War of 1812, a large number of indigenous groups fought under Tecumseh, who gained the alliance of the Potawatomi, Ojibwa, Shawnee, Odawa, Kickapoo, and others, although not all groups supported him. Meanwhile, in Lower Canada, a combined force of Mohawk, Wendat, Algonquin, Abenaki, and Canadian voltigeurs under Charles de Salaberry drove out American forces at Chateauguay. On the other side of the front, the new British General Henry Proctor, who had succeeded General Brock, did not impress Tecumseh. Proctor was retreating from battle, but decided, perhaps at Tecumseh's urging, to make a stand at Moravian Town on the Thames River. Because Proctor didn't want to continue to fight, the brunt of the fighting fell to the indigenous contingent. Tecumseh was killed, and his indigenous fighters were driven off, and his loss is difficult to overestimate. When Tecumseh died, the dream of an independent indigenous territory within North America died with him. For the first people living in British North America, the War of 1812 also marked the end of an era of self-reliance and self-determination. Soon, they would become outnumbered by settlers in their own lands. Any social or political influence enjoyed before the war dissipated. Within a generation, the contributions of so many different peoples working together with their British and Canadian allies against a common foe would be all forgotten. It's 1843. Luc's second wife, Marie, dies in October. On October 16, he marries Cecile Barbery. Luc is 63, making Cecile 29 years his junior. She dies in 1857, making Luc a widow 3 times over. He would follow her a year and a month later passing away in Saint Benoit, Quebec, at age 78.